welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing kind of a blown out peachy smoky eye using the Just Peachy Mattes palette from Too Faced. So we're just going to kind of jump right in. I want to do kind of a more full coverage base since I'm going to do something kind of smoky on the eyes. So I'm going to go in with the Hourglass Mineral Veil primer. This is probably my favorite primer. It's pretty expensive, but it works really well. And I'm going to be going in with the Hourglass Stick Foundation. And this is one combination where I really do think using the kind of intended primer makes a big difference with the foundation. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to go in with the Hourglass Stick Foundation. This is in the shade Porcelain. I'm going to blend that out with my Morphe M439 foundation brush. So with stick foundations, I do like to go in with a brush first, and then after I kind of blend it out with the brush, then I'll go in with a sponge just to kind of soak up excess product, smooth things out, that kind of thing. Next, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Swan. This concealer, I believe this is their lightest shade, but it is a little bit too yellow for me, so I do hope they kind of expand their shade range just a little bit. They have an okay shade range, it's just most companies don't make concealer that's very fair. Most of the time it's going to be my skin tone. I'm not really going to be able to highlight with it as much just because they're not quite light enough. Next I'm going to go in with my Hourglass Illume Sheer Trio in the shade Sunset. And just using kind of the butt end of my sponge, I'm going to go into this bronzer shade. I'm going to pick some up and then just stamp it where I want to kind of bronze and contour. This bronzer, actually this entire palette is really gorgeous. It's a cream palette, so if you don't like working with cream products, this probably won't be for you, but on my dry skin, I really like using cream products because they just melt into my skin a little bit better, they look less dry, so I just like using cream, but this is a really great palette. It's kind of expensive because it's Hourglass, but it blends out beautifully. It's really hard to go overboard. It just looks gorgeous on the skin. I'm going to set my face with the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty is coming up pretty quick. When I have this posted, it'll have started the previous Sunday. And this powder will be on sale during 21 Days of Beauty. I don't remember what day, but if you have been wanting to try this out or if you like this powder, that'd be a good day to repurchase it. I will be picking up an extra because I go through this stuff really crazy. The All-Nighter Setting Spray is also on sale the very last day of the sale, so I'm going to pick up like 3 if I can because I go through them so fast. I'm going to go in with this powder brush from Real Techniques to set the rest of my face. I think I'm going to do my brows next. This isn't an order I normally go in, but oh well. I'm going to use the IT Cosmetics Brow Power pencil in the shade Universal Taupe. I got this in a BoxyCharm and I actually really like it. Just coincidentally, this is also on sale during the 21 Days of Beauty, and it's a pretty good brow pencil if you've been looking to try one. It doesn't have the like super fine tip like the Anastasia Brow Wiz has or the Benefit like Precisely My Brow. But if you don't like the really fine tip like that, then you might really like this pencil. My last video, I kind of explained in a little bit more detail like what I do for my brows, so if you want to see that, I'll link it in the little eye. Okay, brows are done. Brows probably are the thing that takes me the longest out of my makeup routine. So if I'm in a rush, I will probably never go in with a pencil just because it takes me a lot longer. I'll either just use a tinted brow gel or I'll use a powder because even though it's less precise, it'll just kind of give me a little bit of a fuller brow, but without taking as much time to actually like define and fill them in and get the shape I want and all of that, because it's very time consuming. I'm going to go in with the Glossier Boy Brow in the shade Brown and just kind of comb that through my brows to set them in place. I don't go a day without brow gel. I just think it makes a big difference in making me look more put together because my brows stay where I want them all day. And your brows make a big difference on how the rest of your face looks. So I think using kind of a brow gel just really helps you look a little more put together and like you know what you're doing with your life, even if I don't. I'm actually switching jobs tomorrow. So I finished my last job on Friday. I'm filming this on Sunday. You'll see it on Tuesday, but I'm starting a new job and it's a little nerve-wracking. I'm going to go in with the BECCA Sunlit bronzer in Capri Coast, and I'm going to use this brush from Crown Brushes. This came in my FabFitFun box, and it has kind of a similar shape to this Morphe one that I always use. It's just a little bit more dense, and these bristles are a little bit longer. I'm not using very much of this bronzer because I already put down bronzer. I'm just kind of setting that cream bronzer with the powder. But like I was saying, I'm switching jobs on Monday. I'm going to be a general manager for a franchise in the city where I live, and so it's a little nerve-wracking. I graduated with a degree in human resources, and then after a couple internships and working in HR for roughly 3 years, I just kind of decided that HR wasn't really for me. It just wasn't very fulfilling. So I'm going to get some management experience and go from there. I'm going to go in with the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. But it's a little nerve-wracking because I've not been a manager before. I've never managed people, so it's going to be a little different from what I've been doing, but I'm excited. I think it'll go well. Hopefully I'll be able to keep up my filming schedule though. Right now I've been posting for a little bit. I've been posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then I'll just film them. I'll film the videos on the weekends and then edit them throughout the week and then post them. I'm going to go in with the Ofra Feeling Myself highlighter palette, and I'm going to go in with the shade Blissful, which is this one. I think I should be able to kind of keep up with my filming schedule. But for now, I post on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you can check back on those days for new videos. I think for Thursday's video, I want to do kind of a colorful smoky eye using the Dream Street palette from Colourpop and Kathleen Lights, because I realize I talk about that palette a lot, but I've not actually filmed a video using it. So I think I want to use kind of the teal shades in that and do like a deep, colorful smoky eye, but we'll see. I have so many videos I want to film and not enough time to do them. So I want to do kind of a color series as well, because I know a lot of people want to know how to incorporate a little bit more color into their looks. And there are a couple easy ways to do that. So I may do kind of a color series talking about that. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with this palette. I love this palette. It is all matte shades, so I can't ever just use this palette because I like using shimmer on my eyes, but it smells really good. And I'm really picky about smell. I don't like perfumey scents at all, so anything that is scented I'm pretty weary of. I actually went and like smelled this in store before I ordered it because I was afraid that I would be bothered by the scent, but it's a really soft, like peachy smell. It has a good range of shades. So this shade right here is a little bit more of like a satin. It does have a little bit of kind of shimmer in it, so it's the only one that's not 100% matte, but the rest of them are matte shades. I really like peach tones on my eyes and skin tone, so this was just a really good option for me. So I think today I'm gonna go, oh my gosh, this keeps falling. So I think today I'm gonna go in with this shade first. And I'm gonna use a Morphe M441 brush. It's just kind of a blending brush. And I'm gonna take this kind of above my crease as my transition shade. I don't know if I've really said like why I started my YouTube channel, but I really like playing with makeup and doing more like fun and creative looks. I don't like things that I don't really get to do on a daily basis, particularly when I was working in an office. Like appropriate office makeup is not going to be very colorful or creative. So I really like kind of having an outlet for those types of looks and things like that. I don't expect that I'll like make money making YouTube videos or anything. I just enjoy it. I enjoy playing with makeup and getting to share what I'm passionate about. So I'm just kind of, this is a very soft shade. If you have any deeper of a skin tone than I do, this really isn't going to show up on you because it barely shows up on me. It's just kind of a light, like peachy wash of color. But it's going to provide a good base for the rest of our shades. Next, I'm going to go in with this shade, which is just kind of a soft brown tone. I'm just using the same brush and just taking this very slightly lower onto my crease. So this one's actually kind of going in our crease instead of above it. With a slightly smaller blending brush, this is a Morphe M433. This is probably my favorite blending brush just because it's a good size and shape. It's a little bit more pinched, so you can kind of turn it sideways to get a little bit more of a concentrated blend, or you can turn it the other way to kind of diffuse color a little bit more. I'm going to go in with this shade right here called Peach Cobbler, and it's just kind of a deeper peachy, like it's a like true peach shade. I'm going to put this a little bit lower into the crease. With a smoky eye, really the key to achieving like a really nice blended smoky eye is to just kind of build up color slowly. So that's why we've gone in with like those 3 shades to kind of build up the color where we want and make sure that everything's just blended together and nothing's going to be harsh or anything. This is probably my favorite shade from the palette. Whenever I do looks with this palette, I always use Peach Tea, which is this brown shade, and then Peach Cobbler. Those are probably my favorite 2 shades. And then I just kind of vary everything else depending on what type of look I'm going for. If I'm in a hurry, sometimes I'll just pack Peach Cobbler all over my lid, and then I'll take Peach Tea and just kind of blend that into my crease, and that's a really good eye look too. Just looks really put together and very minimal effort. I'm gonna go back in with that original blending brush and a little bit of peach tea and just blend the top of those two together. Next, I'm going to go in with kind of I don't know how to define this brush. It's from EcoTools, and it's just a little bit of a fluffy packing brush. I really like this for packing matte shades all over my lid. So I'm going to go in with the shade Peach Tart right here. It's just kind of a chocolatey brown shade. I'm going to pack this on my lid. And here's where we get that kind of smoky definition to the look. So you can see we've got this kind of brown shade, and then the rest of it's pretty peachy still. So that's how we can kind of achieve a bit of a peachy smoky eye. If you wanted, you could also just take peach cobbler all over the lid, and that could also be kind of your peachy smoky eye as well. Now I'm just adding in a little bit of chocolate dipped, this darker brown shade, just to make it a little bit deeper. Then I'm going to take a really tiny blending brush. This one's the Morphe M514. I'm going to go in with Peach Tart, which is the lighter brown shade. I'm going to very lightly blend the top edge of that where it meets my crease so that we don't have that really harsh line of the dark brown. This is a really easy and kind of more wearable version of a smoky eye because you aren't going in with like a black or anything. So if you're wanting to do something kind of smoky, this might be a good option. The key to any smoky eye is just a lot of blending. So I'm going to go back and forth between, you know, this brown and the peach and just kind of making sure they really meld together. I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. First going in with Peach Tart, packing that on. This just makes it a little bit easier for that deeper shade to have something to kind of blend into. You could also just use Peach Tart if you didn't want as deep of a smoky eye as that side. For the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with Chocolate Dipped and Peach Tart and mix those together and blend those just really close to my lower lash line. If I can find my brush. With just like a really tiny smudger brush. And then on a really tiny blending brush, this is a Morphe M507, I'm going to mix together peach tea and peach cobbler. And I'm going to blend out that shade. Okay, on my lower lash line, I'm going to go in with a brown eyeliner. This one is Mr. Bing from Colourpop. I'm going to put that on my waterline. If if you like a matte inner corner highlight, you could go in with either of these two shades. I just don't personally like a matte highlight, so I'm gonna go in with my highlighter. And I'll probably just, I think I'm gonna go in with this middle shade, which is called Pillow Talk, on my little tiny shader brush. So now is kind of where I like to step back a bit, assess what's going on, see if there's anything I want to change, if I want to add more bronzer. I think right now I have a little bit too much blush, so I'm just kind of blending over that with my powder brush. And then I'm going to take my bronzer brush and just kind of blend over my bronzer. I'm out of my Morphe setting spray, so I'm going to go in with this Milani Make It Dewy setting spray. I'm going to take my sponge and just kind of pat over that. For mascara, I'm going to use my Too Faced Better Than Sex. Oh, I know what I'm going to do for Thursday's video. I am going to film a tutorial using the Norvina palette. I got it a couple weeks ago, and it was when my computer had crashed, so I tried to film a couple tutorials on my husband's computer, and that just did not work at all. So I will probably film a tutorial with that. So if you want to see a tutorial using the Norvina palette, come back on Thursday. I'm going to be using the House of Lashes in Boudoir Light. I'm going to just prep these and then I will be right back to apply them. Okay, so I'm definitely not the best at applying false lashes, but I've applied the Duo brush on adhesive in the shade Dark to my lash, and I'm going to wait a few minutes, or not, like 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds before I apply them, just so that the glue gets a little bit tacky. And then I'll look down into my mirror and try and press this on really close to my actual lashes. Okay, that is one lash on. I'm going to do the other side. I'm just holding the lash in my tweezers, taking the lash adhesive and kind of brushing it on. You don't want to put a lot on, but I do like to make sure that I have enough on the outer corners that they're going to stick down. So I'm just going to wait just a little bit, and then I always hold my mirror kind of below me so that I'm looking down into it, and it gives me a little bit better knowledge of where I'm placing the lash. Okay, lashes are on. I'm still trying to find out what types of lashes I like on my eye shape, because I always feel like lashes look different on each of my eyes, no matter what lash they are. Like, they just look a little bit different. I don't know, these aren't as bad, but I'm going to take a little bit of black liquid liner. This is just the Kat Von D in Trooper, and right here at the front of my lashes, they can tend to look a little bit more unnatural there. So I'm just adding a little bit of black liner. So you see the difference where this one you can not really see where the lash starts. This one you can definitely see where it starts. For lips, I'm going to go in with this Bite pencil in 010. That is, I don't think there's an actual name. It's just 10. These are on sale during the Sephora Labor Day sale, so I just picked up one to try out because they were $9. So. Okay, this is going to be a weird order, but next I'm going to go in with a lip balm. This is the Bite Agave Lip Balm, and I'm going to kind of put this in the center. But I'm going to be going in with a matte liquid lipstick, so I want some sort of lip balm so that that's not as drying. But if I put this on first, then the lip liner won't go on as well. So next I'm going to go in with the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in the shade Mannequin. Okay, so this is the finished makeup look. It's not difficult to do. You do have to spend a little bit of time blending on really any type of smoky eye. If you don't want something this deep or dark, you can do a lot with this palette. I really like going in with this purple shade and the shade Shimma Shimma from Makeup Geek, and just kind of using this one and this one and just kind of blending those on my outer corner and then using Shimma Shimma all over my lid. That is a beautiful look too. It just gives you that little hint of purple, but it's still kind of that peachy blown out look. So you can do a lot with this palette. If you want to see more tutorials using it, just leave that in the comments. Otherwise, be sure and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, and I hope to see you in my next video. It will be up on Thursday around 9 a.m., but you can watch it anytime. Bye guys.